Good morning, everybody. What is up? So, was it like not last night, but the night before last? I slept really weird on my neck, and I woke up in a lot of pain, but then it kind of faded throughout the day. And then I tried working out, and then as soon as I tried to do a fly, I hurt my neck again. And now it's been in like a ton of pain ever since then. I know. So I've got the salon pass thing on me right now. I know. It's scary. Anyway, what set am I casting first? Ah, yes. Alright, let's get this all set up for you guys. Well, yesterday was a pretty solid day of AoE. First set was very good, the second set was okay. Are you guys ready for some very close and exciting series with fun and engaging storylines? Are you ready for a series full of twists and turns? Bigger elo? Because I'm that good. How's Dash doing? Dash is currently cleaning off all of the pots and pans used in Easter breakfast that I was able to have with my family. Also, happy Easter to everybody who celebrates it. It has been a long time, a very, 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 very long time since I've actually believed in anything religious, but I like eating the food. And I like spending time with my family most of the time. Actually, when I did my confirmation, I was like, what, 10 or so? And even then, I didn't really believe in God or anything like that, but I didn't want to offend all of my family by saying that I didn't believe in anything. What food? Catholic? It was Episcopalian. Nihilist? Yeah, that's me. I don't know. I feel like we should all just try and be good people. This is what happens. This is always a danger when you come in here, Mr. Dog. He just wants me to put him on my bed. But I love him so much. It is incredibly dense. He has a double coat, which basically means the house is covered in fur at all points in time. Big fur, yeah, he's definitely on the larger end for a corgi. But corgis can vary in size a lot. Sebastian's got his mate. All right, we'll be starting with Rampart, a map that I feel like we've seen like once or twice. If Sebastian's gonna win, he's gonna need to do something interesting. But if you look at his draft, this isn't a very interesting draft. Now, that doesn't mean it's bad, but this feels like Sebastian wanting to face Illyri straight up, instead of trying to, you know, gimmick out a win here and there. Banned all the interesting civs? Well, he banned Tupi and Mapuche. Realized he didn't have to ban Muisca, or even Incas, because they weren't worth picking. But, yeah, basically banning Persians and then all the weird civs. Definitely wanting to ban Tupi, though. Total zombie storyline, yeah. I think we all know that Jesus was about eating people's brains. Well, I know I'm ready. Yeah, but no one's picking Muisca. Predictions for this match? Oh yeah, we can do a prediction. Oh, I forgot to finish the one yesterday. All right, 2 minutes, guys. Oh, wait, I accidentally closed my Twitch chat. All right, guys, I'm ready to go. I don't know about you, but I'm ready. A Sebastian Viper finals would be awesome.
Yes. The heart tells me 4-3. It doesn't matter. At the 7th game, it doesn't matter who wins. For me, any person.
Dave. Guys, do you think we can get some of what Dave's on? I think we need to get some of what Dave's on. Nah, it's his job to make it exciting. His anti-hair loss drug. I think 4-1 Leary. Come on, guys, let's go. The way the Hera hasn't. Yes, Leary has been way more dominant this tournament. Sebastian's the only person who's actually taken a game from him so far, and that was just like a very aggressive game that Leary misjudged the timing because, you know, you can lose games of AoE 2 sometimes. In the red pill fake? Wasn't it the other way around in the Matrix? Hello, hello, hello. Ronaldo can be a bit grating at times, I'm sure. Lost? No, I've literally never lost. Because they see that all I do is win, 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 win no matter what. But I mean, like, for these plebs, not for the glorious, glorious, bountiful AoE gameplay that I provide. Why are you here? I have no idea. Your own poor choices in life. Yeah, no one has won back-to-back. All right, here we go. Let me set up the scoreboard. Actually, I realized this would make more sense. Also, I forgot to give them their country flags. Alrighty, guys, here we go. It is game number 1, semi-final number 1. We will have Mr. Sebastian in the blue as the Cumans, the Blumans, as it were, to the west of Rampart, and to the east in the green as the Mongols. It will be Leary. So, interesting already. We have Rampart here, but we don't have any FC civs. No Bengalis, no Spanish. Just 2 very aggressive civs, which is, of course, reasonable enough considering these players. But can Sebastian match Leary here in the early game? Now, Mongols, normally not a very good Empire War civ because they, more than like any other civ, like the Dark Age. What the heck was that sound? Oh, it's the frickin' Condor. But there is Hunt on this map that Leary can take and is taking. Yep, you can see that the white is on the outside, whereas on his banner the blue is on the outside. Yeah, the Condor is very loud. All right, double ranges, a stable coming in here for Sebastian. Leary is still in a bit of a precarious position, but he's taken good fights so far. Foxes are still very loud, actually. Oh my goodness, Leary gonna try and save the villager here. I mean, he's already caught up in military. And he doesn't have any spearmen as a part of his army. He does lose 1 villager, but the thing is, Leary's killed army. So in theory, so long as he finishes this early game engagement with army when Sebastian doesn't have army, he is going to be in a very good spot. What does the fox say? I think it's Hachi, 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 Ho. All right, some more quick balls coming in as Leary is trying to apply pressure. He's got the forging upgrade too, so he's got fully operational scouts. Terms have fletching as well. Forging coming in here for Sebastian, but he only has 1 scout cavalry. Leary, of course, is going to be ahead in food collected, I'm sure. He is, but he's well behind in everything else. And right now, it is just all about the micro. But Leary doing such a good job of catching up here in the army. In production facilities, he was, and actually still is. But Leary's going to click up to Castle Age here in a second, and Sebastian isn't ahead in army anymore. You can see he has a ton of scouts queued up all at one stable. He really needed to be on 2 stables sooner, I think. Because also, Sebastian just has Forging versus Bloodlines and +1 defense on top of Forging. And yes, Sebastian's army is in theory better, but only if those units get hits. And right now, Leary is just cruising, man. And he's clicking up to Castle Age. No market needed. Now it feels like Sebastian's just kind of dead. Yeah, this stable felt like it had to come in a lot sooner. Res collected, yeah, but if you look at the distribution, Leary has almost 1,000 more food. Added archer armor coming in here for Leary. Over already. Masmora, we love Empire Wars.
What?
We love Empire Wars. Get it? All right. 50 seconds here for Leary till Castle Age. You could realistically go either Step Lancers or Cav Archers, and like either would be fine. Leary's choosing the Cav Archer route. This feels like very much a preference thing. I think you could justify either. If we look at his resource distribution, he's got a lot of food banked up right now, but his income isn't that good, especially now that the boars are gone, so maybe that's part of the reason. You can get those upgrades and then switch over into the more CA-heavy production. Anyway, we've seen this many times where the person who goes for that very heavy feudal age pressure is walking to his opponent's base because Castle Age is now in. And this is just the real issue, right? It's balancing how much army you can make in feudal age. The thing is that because Leary won those initial engagements, he was out on the other side of the map as soon as, you know, Sebastian was trying to make more units. Like, if Sebastian was going to get the army lead, it would have actually been in, like, the first couple minutes of the game, but he didn't. It just allowed Leary to fight this back, and now this is going to be very sad for Sebastian. I mean, he's going to get several villagers. He's gotten 3 additional ones at this point. But, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. I freaking love Empire Wars. Guys, Sebastian's on the back foot. He's on 3 ranges himself, but he's just going skirmishers. It's going to be extremely unimpressive, especially because Leary still has all of these scouts alive with extra HP. Sebastian may actually be fully walled, but he's just got oh, never mind, I lied. My bad, chat. My bad. Like, the thing with humans is that they win the games instantly. Or you just have that crazy game that Viper did where he somehow used, like, all the Cuban bonuses. Oh, never mind. I super lied. I'm so sorry. I'm such a dishonest streamer.
Yeah, what?
Leary just isn't losing units, guys. Happy Castle Age! You're dead. Oh my Shinderu. And there we go. Again, it's the food collected that was the stat that mattered. Leary was behind in the other resources, but he had the food collected, and he didn't have the investment that Sebastian did. Like, look at this. Sebastian had more production right off the start, but he lost the initial fights right here. Yeah, this map has Hunt on it. You can grab the boars. But yeah, this right here, these fights needed to snowball super hard for Sebastian. But when they didn't, Leary's own production was fine, and because he didn't invest anywhere near as much, he could just click up to Castle Age. And so Sebastian, by the time that this happened, Leary already had all of his Castle Age upgrades he needed. So you could say that was a game that was actually lost within 3 minutes. Alrighty. Mongols were actually only the 5th pick there for Leary. And it was actually a draft win for Leary getting Mongols there. Viper won that game because his raids, Sebastian defended better. Humans lost, but he was Cumans. Why is my life dictated by the whims of a corgi? Dash. A cat? I'm allergic to cats. Also, I love dogs. Fun. Noisy dogs get scooped. Campaign that really that doesn't actually exist in campaigns. There isn't a single campaign that actually has you be aggressive. Because if there's anything casual players hate, it's having to be aggressive. Anyway, guys, we are here on Stonefront. Leary is going to be in the green as the Mayans to the southwest. And to the northeast in the blue as the Byzantines. It will be Sebastian. Hunflo Klalosh? Yeah, I guess that does encourage being aggressive. Yeah, that's actually a good call. All right, infantry armor upgrade coming in here for Leary. Sebastian's trying to get himself walled in. Got a market coming in here. We have a corgi who's scratching at my door. Why encourages early aggression? I mean, you can go aggressive, and it actually is easier going aggressive. All right, Leary, using the market. Look at this. He's already 150 resources ahead. And this actually isn't just a Mayans thing, although being Mayan certainly doesn't hurt. This is entirely because Leary isn't walling. Walling is very hard on your early economy. Even in Empire Wars. Like, that fact is exacerbated even more in RM. But yeah, Leary's just on his way up to Castle Age, and he will get that timing advantage, market usage, all that good stuff. Going Eagles? Say it ain't so. He actually hasn't really committed to any army yet. Oh, he actually canceled the scale mail armor upgrade to get an even faster castle age time upon seeing his opponent's heavy wall play, which I like a lot from Leary. Eagles, as it doesn't look like archers. You could be going both. You smell forward siege? Do you have the ability to smell through the internet, Mesmora? That's pretty weird. Probably not a superpower at all. Second board? Well, I mean, remember, we're in Empire Wars, not RM. Not able to do that? Thankfully, no. Do you think I want to be smelling you, you people? Missing out. Forward. Well, Sebastian is doing his level best to scout this, but unfortunately, Leary is going to be here in Castle Age with that advantage, and Sebastian has got a militia. Oh my goodness. He's got a militia, chat. Anyway, Siege Workshop coming in, and this could be Leary saying, hello, I am going to go kill you. The issue is, of course, that you can't really afford Archer upgrades and Eagle Warrior upgrades. So what this is actually one range Archer pressure from Leary, which means he has to have perfect micro. Now, I mean, I know it's Leary, but still, this does need to be perfect. He has given himself no room for error. And Sebastian is properly teching into this. He's not going swordsman or heavy cavalry to deal with the Eagles. He is going for the skirmishers. Eagles are knocking at the door. Of course, you're going to try and snipe the villager with the crossbowman. And there we go. Castle Age is in. Elite Skirmisher. He needs to queue up Bodkin as well, of course. Needs to queue up Bodkin. He needs to queue up Bodkin Arrow. There we go. The Mangonel is already out here for Leary. What is Sebastian's plan? He doesn't have a Siege Workshop. He obviously doesn't have a monastery with Redemption Monks. All of that is way too far in the future. He's gonna need to do something here. Leary is also well ahead in resources, and all of this is because Leary has never been under any pressure at all. Now, this is some good micro from Sebastian, and Leary's got to be really careful here because he doesn't have a Vil on standby to repair, although he is bringing one over. Here we go. Leary going after the archery range, not being too greedy, trying to, like, go for the throat. Leary knows that he just needs to keep the pressure up here. His resources are looking excellent. Grabs a couple of skirmishers right there. And the repairs are coming in as needed. Those villagers are going to need to flee. And Sebastian simply doesn't have any time right now. This is honestly a really instructive game as to the downsides of walling early and the advantages of the timing play. I mean, I get... Oh, no. I get wanting to upgrade your militia to the more powerful men-at-arms. I really do. But... I don't know, guys. With 7 on food... Yeah, not too sold on any of this. Sebastian will simply need to heavily out micro Leary here. Well, that's a... Never mind. Whoever has the initial Mangonel numbers advantages is going to be the one happy with a one-for-one trade. And in this case, that's Leary. Anyway, Sebastian feels pretty dead right now. Was simply too slow to Castle Age. Could not deal with the Mangonels. You know, AoE in general is becoming so execution dependent and much less strategically dependent. So let's just make a game mode that exacerbates that even further. All right, that's good for Sebastian. The issue is that he doesn't have an eco behind this, and Leary's already adding a third TC. He's already got 3 relics. He did snipe a Mangonel over there to the west, so, like, those are good moves from Sebastian. The issue is that none of this happened, like, around here? Like, the time to make something happen was 6 minutes ago. Game time. But yeah, Leary is not at all worried about this, because remember, he is only on 1 archery range. Remember I said Leary had 0 margin of error? If this was attempted by almost any other player, it wouldn't work because you just don't have any archers, and the skirmishers will just whittle down the archer numbers eventually. "19 seconds idle time for Leary as well is crazy." Yeah, this is basically a do everything at once build because you don't lose any units. Like, Leary has the actual investment into somebody who is barely trying to hang in there while they're getting their eco going. Except he just doesn't lose any units, so it is actually completely fine. Like, this only is a good move strategically because you're Leary. This is where the mechanics actually influence the strategy. Osaw coming in. Still has enough archers. But yeah, despite some decent Mangonel hits here and there, Leary still has always maintained the Mangonel advantage. How? Because he's Leary, and this is pretty darn close to perfect AoE 2 play mechanically. Sebastian trying to apply some pressure there. Oh, you've got to be kidding. He not only does he get the Mangonel kill, but he kills like 4 villagers on top of it. Oh my god. Yep, he dropped 1 game to Sebastian, of all people. There is simply no way that Sebastian has been able to take good fights because Leary has controlled it perfectly and has boomed perfectly behind it. Oh, that was kind of weird. Honestly, I felt like Leary should have gotten the kill, but I guess he does anyway. Sebastian gets 1 Mangonel snipe. Congratulations, you have 4 more on top of you. And again, it's just enough archers. Leary's literally never added a 2nd archery range. This is all sorts of not how AoE should work, but it does. Yeah, Leary's on his way up. Oh geez, 10% more efficient in eco for Leary. Hey T-West, are you there? Multiple production buildings, stone, and archer armor upgrades? Yeah, I think that checks out. Yeah, I mean, that game was, like, neither of these games have been remotely close. He just doesn't have the execution. Positive take on this, and what is this positive take? Hera Viper starts earlier. Is Hera Viper going to look all that much different to this, though? 28% chance of beating Hera? I don't know. Prize money to afford the DLC? Yeah. Tomorrow? I don't think so. Because they have the AoE 4 finals, right? So they don't need a third place match to bring in viewers. Yeah, I mean, can all just chill here in the evening. Hello, Tundra Blitz. They're still on Stonefront. I'm gonna get some more coffee, guys. Yeah, hopefully you have Easter plans. Dang, my neck hurts. All right. Volpine is next. This seems like another map that's going to be very fast. Oh, they're trying to add in fluff to pad out the series length. I mean, you gotta do it, right? You gotta fill. You got a time slot to fill. The corgis with my legs and not my neck. Ah, yeah, that's my issue. And we failed to download match content. And here we go, getting into, as they say, Evropeen. Alrighty, guys, game number 3. Sebastian needs to make it out of the first 5 minutes of the game without dying. He will be the blue Huns here to the northwest and to the southeast in the green. It will be Leary. Meet in the final? I mean, seriously.
Get you arse.
A freaking Condors, man. Get out of here. CA, but CA are a Castle Age unit, and Sebastian needs to be in the Castle Age and not dead. Games have been close so far. The games have been close for approximately 3 minutes each. All right, archery range opening. Stable opening, and then the archery range follow-up. Meanwhile, it is just a straight archer opening here for Leary. And Sebastian is once again going to try and overwhelm in the feudal age with his Huns. Ooh, there he gets a poke. He was behind? Exactly. So it was close for like 2 minutes. Maybe a little less than 2 minutes. Nope, finals is tomorrow. Sebastian does get a kill there. For some people, it's a holiday. And I guess for British people, it's a holiday. But it definitely isn't for Americans. Thankfully, this is my job anyway. Okay, this is actually very good from Sebastian, guys. Leary is going to get a counter kill on the other side, though, and delay that second archery range. So it really is going to come down to the micro, and Sebastian needs to kill the enemy archers with his own archers. That is essential. But so far, this is actually a competitive opening, guys. That's exactly it, Zagarath. The AoE 4 final, and then the AoE 2 final. All right, padded archer armor coming in here. Scout cavalry is out. Leary gets his own kill, but Sebastian's going to get some kills on the other side as well. Good kills there for Sebastian. Now, he's the one with scouts and archers exclusively, whereas Leary's got these spearmen, which are going to be much less effective going forward. The scouts are just... What? Surely Leary saw that. Bloodlines coming in here for Sebastian. Army numbers are similar, so you'd think that Huns would have the production advantage, especially since it's 2 ranges and 1 Hun stable. But nope. Leary's macro is way too good. 99%. Oh, 15%. What a noob. Oh, here come the scout cavalry of Leary. This is not what Sebastian is looking for. When you don't have the spearmen, you really need to be in position with your units. And now Leary is going to be feeling like he needs to invest in the defensive watchtower. Bloodlines is in here on the scouts. And Sebastian is scooching back right now. Leary's still here with his scout cavalry. And he's causing idling from his opponent. And Leary's also here with army. It just feels like Leary's got stuff everywhere, man. And that tower is a very good play. I'm going to keep him safe. And, oh, hey, look, Leary's going to click up the Castle Age. Both players with 3 villager kills. But guess what? One dude's in Castle Age, and the other is not going to be getting there this millennium. And this is just all Leary investing far, far less into all of this. Like, Sebastian is taking slightly advantageous fights, but the issue is he's invested, like, twice as much into it, and he's continuing to invest into it. Yep, I mean, all those upgrades slow you down, and Leary just also making far fewer scouts than his opponent. This could look a lot like game number 1. Just as bad. I think they are both equally, boring to watch in most sets. It's actually might even be worse for Leary because he crushes people harder than Hera does and then always loses to Hera anyway in the final. And yes, Leary's games are quick. For sure. Hello, yeah. Leary said some dumb things in the past. Hera said some dumb things in the past. We've all said dumb things in the past. Anyway, Sebastian needs to try and take a fight before Leary gets his upgrades. Now, Sebastian has done a very good job of denying that TC fire, and Leary now does need to take a fight. So this is very well done from Sebastian. Has Leary actually gone too greedy for once? Like I said, this has to get a ton done, and Sebastian is getting good value right there. Bodkin is in. Leary's going to try and go for the CA. Archers are, like, kind of dying, but they're still getting a ton of value. I don't know. That doesn't feel worth it for Sebastian. Feels like he just kind of threw away his army. And it's not like Leary... If Leary lost another 8 villagers on top of this, then I think we could be talking. Sebastian is on his way up. But yeah, Leary's archers with Bodkin have gotten a huge amount of value. University coming in. TC with 7 kills. This blob of archer with 10 kills. That's half of Leary's kills are just with the TC and the archer blob here. Oh, wow, you saved the receipts. Anyway, the question is, what does Sebastian want to transition into? If he goes Cav Archers, you could be like, okay, he's Huns, he wants to go Cav Archers. That does make sense. But he's going to be very far behind in the CA numbers. But Leary's eco isn't great. The difference, though, is that Leary is well ahead in resources destroyed. Anyway, CAR here. Ballistics is on its way. And the numbers are just not looking good here for Sebastian. Yep. Leary and Hart and Hera have all said some rather unimpressive things to me during my tournaments. All right, Bloodlines, Ballistics coming in. Oh, jeez. Well, this one was closer for a little while, right? Right? Every advantage they can get. Well, that's not really like using an in-game advantage. That's just being entitled. Because you're very talented and popular. Well, you know. To do their prep between games that they won anyway. Apologize? Yep. We are the tournament? Yep. Five distinct tiers among the top 8 players. Well, it's the Hera and Leary tier, and then it is the rest of the top 8 to 10 that can all be competitive one day or the other. Anyway, that was the Huns losing to the Who Even Cares. It's the Georgians who become... Yep. It sure has. In a tier of his own? No, Leary crushes everybody other than Hera pretty darn decisively these days. We had a good day yesterday. We've had some good sets here and there. Oh, it's absolutely Leary's best format. That and Pure Arabia. So this past year, yeah, I guess it just feels like these days. Sharp State. Leary is very efficient with his practice. Leary doesn't grind ladder at all. Leary does practice for tournaments, but Leary is also such an inherently talented player that he just doesn't need as much practice and prep as other people. Again, that's not to say that he doesn't do any, and he's very efficient with the prep that he does, but it's more a matter of what he actually needs to do. And the thing with Hera is he plays so much more than everybody else that Hera's starting point is ahead, and unless Hera decides to ease up a little bit, no one is currently close enough that they can really try and catch up. More practice, but it's way easier to be the second best player and put in, like, you know, a fifth the amount of time that Hera does into AoE 2. But Hera's also making a ton of money from AoE 2, so, like, there's a ton of incentive for him to do that. It makes sense for both Hera and Leary to be in the spot where they're at right now. Anyway, Sebastian, tournament life on the line, Blue Dravidians to the north, Leary cruising as usual, going to be the green Italians to the southwest. Hera, Leary, or Hart would do well. It depends on how much practice they have. More susceptible to burnout? Maybe. I don't know. You would have to ask him. Be the best player? I mean, you never know for sure. Maybe. Yep. Gets the snag there. But again, and part of it's just like the formats that favor these players. Major sponsors gambling? Yeah, I mean, it's... It's all a little bit messy. Would win the other series... Wait. Win the series in another setup? I mean, it depends on what it is. If we're not playing execution-oriented aggressive maps, then I think Sebastian has a much greater chance. You're in tournaments alone. That's actually the public information. That's the easy one to figure out. The one that we don't know is how much Hera earns just from his content.
சரி.
Ein.
உங்கள் என்ன கட்டளை சரி. உங்கள் சித்தம்
Good old Uncle C. Tom.
சரி.
Fishing lines coming in for Leary. He is ahead by 4 fishing ships.
உங்கள் சித்தம்
Anyway, Sebastian has more army here. Leary is producing from 2 ranges.
Ein. Presto.
Leary gonna have to scooch back over there. And Sebastian's gonna be first to click up to Castle Age.
என்ன கட்டளை
Actually, no, Leary's just hot on his heels. Nilly monthly summaries, yeah.
Salve.
உங்கள் சித்தம்
Ein.
என்ன கட்டளை
Ein.
உங்கள் சித்தம்
Well, Castle Age times are similar, and I mean, to Sebastian's credit, I mean, he's not doing poorly at all. He's slightly ahead in resources. He's getting a second dock up on the outside. Leary is also with 2 docks. Leary's still ahead by 4 fishing ships, though.
சரி. என்ன கட்டளை உங்கள் சித்தம் என்ன கட்டளை சரி.
It's crazy. Hera earns, just from tournament winnings alone, Hera's earned more than 3 times my yearly salary. Critically interesting. Oh, let me tell you, skirms are pretty awesome units.
Presto. Impero.
Skirms are literally perfection.
Ein. Presto.
Because you can have, like,
Impero.
very little eco, especially food eco, and still make them. Yeah, Seb has a ton of army. Getting medium warships, bowsaw, e-skirm, all that good stuff. Leary is very quick in getting these fishing upgrades, though, by the way.
சரி.
You want to be a skirm? Oh, yeah. Nobody taking the eastern pond yet.
Impero.
But so far, Sebastian has simply made more army than Leary, and he's been doing enough to pressure Leary's eco that the fact that Leary's made more fishing ships hasn't mattered yet. Monastery coming up at the back, TC here at the back as well.
என்ன கட்டளை சரி.
No, it's a grotto. Come on. They all connect underneath the land.
Presto.
Well, those units are going to get cleaned up here by Leary. Siege Workshop coming in. I guess that villager was trying to add in another dock, so that's actually the first villager kill of the game. We have a couple knights coming in here from Leary, but they don't really have very good upgrades. That said, Sebastian does feel the need to flee. He has more navy. This dock hasn't happened yet, though. A little bit of a scuffle here on the outside. Leary did not get the medium warships upgrade just yet.
உங்கள் சித்தம் என்ன கட்டளை
Knights are definitely getting some good value. I honestly wonder if Sebastian is overreacting to the knights with the skirmisher unit control. Micro's still solid, though, and Sebastian does have 4 total eco kills. Leary does need to pay attention here on the outside, too.
Ein.
Sorry. Third TC coming in here from Sebastian. The other series is Hera versus Viper.
உங்கள் சித்தம்.
Horse Collar, Wheelbarrow coming in. So, I mean, Sebastian's playing well, guys. Leary's going to add TCs 2 and 3 almost simultaneously.
Presto.
But with more booming, yeah.
சரி.
Ein.
Siege Workshop coming on in. Knights aren't really doing a whole lot here. Again, the Res Collected are still very even. Like, if we hadn't just watched the previous 3 games, we'd say that, oh, okay, this is a solid game. It's been back and forth. Both players have a good chance. And I think it would actually be not the best example to use the previous few games because the previous few games were really decided almost instantly. So this is going to be, okay, Sebastian has survived the early game. What can he do now? Leary's still ahead in the KD. He's still taking good fights. Sebastian's eco upgrades are a bit better, though. More range is coming in. And there is an Ellie Archer, but there are already a lot of skirmishers and mangonels on the field. And this is the thing with facing the Dravidians, is that Leary is playing so heavily into an army that's weak against knights. So you can make an army that's good against like everything except knights, and just know that Sebastian can't do that tech switch. It's always what makes Dravidians a little bit awkward to play. Neither are on stone. Ellie Archers can make it work versus skirms depending on the numbers and how the upgrades are matching up. But yes, especially the Dravidian Elephant Archers with that faster attack speed are very good. A different civ? Yeah, that seems fair.
என்ன கட்டளை?
Again, now that we're sort of getting to the actual back and forth of AoE when it comes to tech switches, deciding when to boom and when to attack, army compositions, all that, it feels like it's much more evenly matched. And that's the thing with Hera and Leary, is that where their advantage lies is in their mechanics. It's not that they are so much worse than everybody, you know, when it comes to the decision making, the tactics and strategy past early to mid game. Like, but they don't have a huge advantage. And it's, you know, versus the other players in the top, you know, top 10 or so, it's all very, very even. Get a mango there? Well, it was, they were all a little too spread out.
என்ன கட்டளை?
You have 3 monks here as well, and they will be able to heal the injured elephant archers, which is nice. Handcart coming in, though, for Leary. He's getting his own farming infrastructure down. Still, trying to utilize the elephant archers. I mean, that's good control from Sebastian. He loses 2 Ellie archers, but remember, elephant archers are only very slightly more expensive than knights now. Just 5 more gold, same food cost. Still, Leary is in a position to continue pressuring. He's still slightly ahead in the resources destroyed. Army values are comparable. And this is tricky for both players right now, guys. Mangonels are falling on all sides. The skirmisher numbers aren't super impressive. The monks, Leary did a pretty darn good job of sniping them. And, I mean, Sebastian's doing really well here, guys. Look at this. Leary is up to imp, though. Genoese crossbowmen require a castle, and Leary doesn't like mining stone. I don't know if we have a series on our hand, but we do have a game on our hands. Leary still has double the fishing ships, though. Eastern Pond is, I guess, nominally in control of Leary, but he's not really able to fish from it yet. Sebastian, this is going to be the issue for him, is that he isn't going to have any more gold very, very soon. Yeah, Leary's knight upgrades are still very unimpressive. How did none of those units get converted? What the heck? Anyway, Leary still has his skirms, and he's creeping closer to the Imperial Age. Yeah, I think the efficiency is just not good enough here for Sebastian. Would it have served Sebastian better if he was only making skirmishers? Maybe. The idea with Sebastian was that the elephant archers are much better at sniping mangonels, which, you know, he was able to do. The issue is he was so far behind in the mangonel numbers to begin with that Leary is just going to be getting a huge lead in terms of value. Don't lose the Mangonel War, but the issue is he was just so far behind in the Mangonel War. Anyway, Imp is in. Sebastian's still stuck in Castle Age. This is probably it. If we look at the res distribution, Leary, more of everything collected except stone. Well, I mean, he has a castle now, but only for the purposes of making trebuchets. Now Leary's fights are way too efficient. Sebastian's clicking up to Imp, but he's just fallen behind in every single way. 29 fishing ships for Leary, guys. 29! Obviously, that castle can't really stand all that much longer. Leary's developing his own Imperial Age army upgrades. He called that a skill issue. Hopefully be more even. Why do I have the feeling that the series will look exactly like this, but the games will take twice as long? Another glorious win for the skirmishing. Indeed, he who skirms hardest, skirms best. That's rough for Sebastian, especially after he had such an incredible series yesterday. Oh, yeah, here you guys go.
Let's hear it one more time for our first finalist of Age of Empires 2. It is Leary. What a dominant performance. You seem to be playing on a different level. Group stage already looking so very solid. And this was also, once again, a display of dominance. What do you think, what kind of adjustments did you make heading into this tournament to unlock this next level of play?
I feel like everything just went right for me from the day onwards, day one preparation until now. I love the setup, I love the crowd, I love this Empire Wars game mode, I love just everything that's been here so far, so everything worked out.
Yeah, sometimes the stars just align. Now, we saw in this entire series that you did prioritize Castle Age. Was that due to an observation you made about Sebastian's play or just a gameplay change for you personally?
It depends from map to map, but I prefer to play in Feudal Age and Castle Age, but usually you just skip the first stage. This series, it worked out pretty well, so I can't complain.
Now, our next matchup is, of course, the Battle of the Goats. It's going to be Hera going up against the Viper. How do you see that one play out?
He's quite tall.
What is your read of
Yeah,
both
he's
these players
around
and
my
how they've
height.
performed thus far at RedBull?
So he's also very
I
short.
think both, well, obviously, a discussion of the GOATs, right? Hera's coming in with like 14 wins in a row or something.
Yeah, he's
crazy.
around 6 feet.
Viper having the run of his life as well.
That's right.
It can go probably either way. I would favor Hera, obviously.
No, she's just
He has
a
been the
well-known
toughest
and
so
respected
far.
esports
Not only for
host.
me,
No,
but
she's
for everyone,
on
obviously. But I'm
StarCraft,
looking forward for the match. Should
Overwatch.
be a banger.
You're gonna
She's
be
done a ton
watching
of
the
stuff.
audience?
No, she's been
Yes.
around forever.
So I assume you're going to cheer on Hera as your teammate?
Yes.
All right. If you are to meet Hera at the grand final, I know you guys have been boot camping prior to RedBull, Wololo, Londinium. How have the matches against him gone thus far? Like, where are we at?
It went both ways. Obviously, it's practice, right? So you can't always say, but he has been the toughest opponent for me so far. Put it that way.
Got it, got it. Well, Leary, once again, congratulations. We're going to see you again tomorrow in our grand final.
Invasions, massacres, sieges. Across the wine-dark sea they came, their prows pointed for Greece.
We turned back Persian ships once before, and we shall do so again! Those are your homes, burned by the mead. Take up your spears, and let no man rest until we return this city to Athena!
Look to the front! There is glory to be won! The Greeks had only two options, victory or death.
The Peloponnesian War was a conflict that lasted a generation, fought between the rival city-states of Athens and Sparta in ancient Greece. The Peloponnesian War was a decades-long conflict between the Greek city-states of Athens and Sparta, in which both sides set out to prove their superiority, but instead demonstrated their capacity for mutual ruination. Wealthy and democratic Athens had built a powerful confederacy it insisted was just a defensive alliance, the Delian League. Sparta, on the other hand, disciplined, land-based, and deeply suspicious of novelty, found this arrangement both unconvincing and somewhat threatening. Their long-standing rivalry boiled over in 431 BCE, and so this long war of attrition began, featuring annual invasions, naval raids, and a general reluctance to actually settle the whole thing decisively. Under leaders such as Pericles, Athens initially adopted a strategy of endurance, which worked admirably until a plague tore through both its population and its optimism. A disastrous naval campaign in Sicily further eroded the Athenian position. Conversely, Sparta managed to secure assistance from the Persian Achaemenids and ultimately prevailed against Athens in 404 BCE. The result, however, was less a triumph than a shared decline, leaving this part of the Greek world weakened and available for future conquest, which arrived in due course from Macedon. But that's another story. The Peloponnesian War remains one of the most famous and significant conflicts to emerge from ancient Greek history.
And what's really interesting about the Peloponnesian War as well is obviously because Sparta did win, technically speaking, and the Athenian hegemony was shattered. What's really interesting about it is it directly led to the rise of Alexander the Great because his father
That's so interesting. Riley.
Oh, right, yes, of course, sorry. My friends, welcome, one and all, to our second semi-final. We have come a long way to reach this point, and I know many of you will be very, very excited to get underway with our headline act. Two of the greatest players of this game are ready, waiting in the wings for this match, and we are moments away from seeing them locked in battle.
Let's bring out our players. First, he's the favorite to win it all, so the pressure is on. The expectations are sky high, but thus far, he's met them all. He's opportunistic, he's adaptive, and currently in the absolute prime of his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome to the stage the reigning Red Bull Wololo champion. It is Hera!
Was there anything thrilling happening?
And today he will be going up against a player who refuses to wait for opportunities. He's the kind of player who creates them. He's willing to take daring risks. He's a living legend of this game.
He's waiting to take to the stage in the wings. My friends, make sure to make him feel welcome. Put your hands together for the Viper!
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I like that. Well, the Royal Albert Hall is going to be where the finals are.
Well, what a series we have here, Nilly, the Viper and Hera. We've seen it so many times before, but yet again they meet. Big stage,
Chicken
big
wings?
events.
Chicken wings are pretty great.
Will be here, Red Bull Wololo Londinium semi-final that we see them again.
That's just absolutely incredible, right? Clearly, number one, number two on the GOAT ranking, right?
Yeah,
Some people, like the old schools, like that are playing this game for like 25 years, they still feel like the Viper is...
It was very exciting. It was as fun as it was interactive. T90 Benedict Arnold. A Royal Guard hat, yeah. All right. Do we have our draft? We do. The green thing behind T90. I think it's called a tree. Dress up like that? Yeah. Look tall? Yeah. He's a shorty. That was the issue with Ellie, is that she was too tall. She made everyone else look short. All right. Oh, Viper with the Mapuche and Tupi. The Washington wig, yeah. Oh, geez, this cringe thing. Oh, Viper's trying not to smile.
You stand before the conversion chamber. 3 questions will be asked. You will receive no indication of success or failure. Only at the end will your fate be revealed. Answer all correctly, and walk free. Walk free. Fail. And be converted. Be converted.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh my god.
What unit converts enemies?
That would have to be a monk.
Question 2. What does Loom do?
Loom gives you 15 extra HP and 2 pierce armor and 1 melee armor.
Question 3. How many farms must someone build before he can call himself?
What kind of question is that?
This definitely has a definite answer. That will be always correct. Has to be 48.
We have heard enough. Heard enough. That's a fail.
How is that a fail? How is it a fail?
Obvious fail.
It makes no sense.
Stop complaining. You're gonna be converted.
Honestly, this is so cringe. The Dave face is something else. Oh, and the mem face is pretty bad too.
We welcome the converted into our order.
Well, that gets more and more interesting every single time you watch it. Oh my goodness. Well, there he is. He's been.
Oh my god. The group of nerds, yeah.
Was really solid. Again, only lost. Yesterday, a really good performance against Mr. Yo, Viper.
Yeah, but that would require them to not have weird
And I think
questions
the big
like
thing when
that.
you get to the biggest stage is who can deliver when the pressure is highest, and you have to favor Viper and have some really solid chances because he's won so much. He's been at LAN events, he's won LAN events, and he had the longest era of dominance in terms of years that Age of Empires has seen. So, still.
Then again, to interrupt you, that era didn't have a lot of LAN events.
This is true.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Hera, he has been really dominant in the last 6-7 LANs that we have had as well.
Absolutely. And so to Hera, right?
Talk about Hera.
It was pretty bad, yeah. Ugh. Not in the lobby yet.
Thousands of Age of Empires fans, and a lot of people will be screaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah, I doubt maybe that would work. Oh my goodness, guys. There was a post about the Red Bull banners and all the AI stuff, and I commented on it. It got almost 200 upvotes. And the mods just took the post down completely. Oh my goodness. That's pretty hilarious. AoE 2 mod team. An accusation against another person or organization's integrity or business practice is only allowed if the accuser has sufficient evidence. Please don't start AI drama over something the organizers have already stated is not AI. Well, I think there's evidence. The link? I don't know. Can I find it? I don't know what that is. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like there was technically an artist, but I see no great evidence that there was zero AI used whatsoever. That's pretty hilarious. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Oh, I don't really care. Like it's a minor thing in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's the fact that it very much looks like AI, even though it's the fact that they're denying so much. Like, it's one thing if they said, we didn't think it was worth the budget to not use AI, right? We thought it was just easier and more efficient to just use AI. Like, if that was the case and they just said that they used AI, then I feel like it would be like, okay, well, I disagree with that, but whatever, let's just move on. But it's the fact that it really looks like AI. Yeah, I don't know why Automod doesn't like 1984. Yes, that's AI. But they should. It's one thing to, use creative AI. It's another thing to pretend that you're not using creative AI, because that's dishonesty, right? And because they know it's unpopular, but that's both dishonest and cowardly. Larry Sebastian, it was an incredibly one-sided 4-0. Like, if you make a decision, you have to own up to it. All right, they're going to be starting on Dorothy Quarry. And here we go. All right. Alrighty, guys, here in the blue as the Tadars to the west of the map, it will be Hera, and to the east in the yellow as the Japanese, it will be Viper. Interesting. Viper did get housed pretty badly, though, at the start. Not ideal. All right, fishing ship is on the way. He's in good form, yeah, something like that. Fletching coming in for both players. Hera started with his own archery range. We've seen some players start with the stable on this map as the Tadars, so nothing terribly crazy there. Just a slight difference. But Viper is certainly going to lean into the fishing aspects of this map, and knowing that Hera is going to be picking Tadars, because if you draft Tadars, you're playing them on this map because they're fantastic. It's like the only time we literally ever see Tadars is on a map that's like designed for them specifically. But Japanese can certainly challenge Tadars. Their Cav Archers do win in a head-to-head fight. Well, assuming equal upgrades and, level ground, which is not the case in terms of this map very often. Anyway, Hera, perfect fight there. Viper's Watchtower gets some glancing shots in, but nothing terribly decisive, and Viper going to try and rush up some walls, but Viper's fishing ships could end up costing him here. That said, Viper is here with his 3 archers. They have the high ground as well, so they are going to be doing a number here on Hera's villagers. Hera needs to be careful, but the same could be said on the other side as Hera already snags a villager. He has 2 scouts here, and Viper needs to take some better fights, because currently Hera hasn't actually lost anything, and Viper is. Hera lost a Vil, but yeah, Hera is simply out multitasking Viper like crazy. Well, well, I mean, they're both playing ridiculously fast. But it's not even an APM thing. It's just Hera's multitasking being perfect thing. Viper has killed 1 villager and lost a ton. Yeah, this is extremely over, man. Good for AoE viewership? No. Because the issue is, like, the way that these games are won is extremely boring. Again, the strategic aspect of AoE 2 doesn't matter if you simply cannot take good fights and your opponent macros perfectly behind it. And watching one guy just, you know, have perfect unit control and perfect macro completely nullifies the strategic aspect of AoE 2. Which, I mean, sometimes that's the case, right? If the skill level when it comes to mechanics is that significant. Wasn't so high. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like such a difference in mechanical skill that any other aspect of AoE 2 doesn't matter. And what people enjoy in watching AoE 2, for the most part, is the strategic aspect of the game and the fact that you're sort of playing that chess match in real time. Hence the real-time strategy. Well, Hera's 20 seconds off from Castle Age. I mean, he can do really whatever he wants right now. 800 more food collected, 1,000 more wood. Up. Oh, yeah, I mean, this game is super over. Make it more interesting? Well, I mean, it's the settings, really. Like, Hera is the best player in the world, and Leary's the second best player in the world, and these settings simply exacerbate their advantages, which is their mechanics. Yeah, Viper needed a tech tree pause for Japanese. But yeah, and in terms of actual viewership, people would rather watch the popular player dominate as opposed to watching a competitive match for the most part. Anyway, we're just waiting for Viper to tap out. Viper knows it's over. He is no dummy. Yeah, no, it really ended in an hour. Leary won every single game except the last one within, like, 2 to 3 minutes real time. No, only one game went to Imp. The first 3 games Leary won in early Feudal Age. On a game mode that starts you in early Feudal Age. Day off? Yeah, you know, I get to spend Easter Sunday with the family. I mean, Viper is just warming up, basically. Again, Viper knows the game is over, but he's just keeping his muscles fresh. Well, that game sucked. There's a long way to go before Rye Viper's wrist issues are going to come in. What can I even say? Right, Hera's making the lobby. See what's next. Viewership actually seems pretty bad right now. Even doubt. There was a time in like 2021 to 2022 when there were like 5 different players who all won S tier events. Yeah, that's not accurate. It's more than that. There's like 9.5k between T90 and RedBull, make that like 12.5k, 14k, 16k, something like that. Well, it only matters once Ballistics actually comes in. Dashboard shows 38k. Well, I see a very inaccurate 6k. Is that on casts or what? Streamers tab. That still isn't all that great, though. This should be like the best day for viewership on a Sunday. But yeah, 37.7k. Which isn't all that great across every single language put together. It's true that this isn't the final, but a lot of people don't get Easter Monday off. Like, a lot of people don't get Easter Monday off. Ticket sales? I actually have no idea if a holiday makes viewership go up or down. Again, especially because it's one that's very unevenly celebrated. Like, you have Christmas and New Year's, which are really the only holidays that are fairly global in their celebration. You bet a Blackpink shirt. I'm a huge Blink. On a Monday? Well, I mean, again, it depends where you live. In America, Easter Monday isn't really a thing. AV4 numbers? I'm sure there would have to be some sort of attention paid there. Anyway, guys, here we are, game number 2. Viper is going to be in the yellow as the Mapuche here to the east of the map. Wait, aren't Mapuche awful? I mean, yeah, but no way Viper can lure now. Stable in here for Hera. Yep, get to see the mining camps and the lumber camps, although we don't get to see their mill. For balance reasons, you start with one settlement. Mari Mari. We do get to hear Mari Mari. And if Mari Mari isn't considered an S tier voice line, I have no idea what could be. Mari Mari. Hera will lose the scout, and we have some more chompy scouts on the way, but remember, they are not chompy runners yet. You still need to research that upgrade, as Viper is coming in here with a second barracks. Is he utilizing his settlement to... Well, I mean, he's getting double bid axe right now. Actually, can you research double bid axe at a lumber camp if you're the Mapuche or any of the South American civs? Uncle C Tom? I mean, it's absolutely on par with Uncle C Tom, which is also an S tier voice line. With Franks? I feel like Bolas Riders could be really good against Franks. But again, if Hera just out micros Viper like crazy and out macros and micros Viper like crazy. Oh, come on. Remember, you do get that extra HP as the Mapuche. Hera is just not making anything, though. Hera's literally unbothered. Zaas is also pretty darn good. Oh, also, Bosol. Yeah, yet Samsung. And Hera's gonna be able to Castle Age. Boss? No. He's just going for a variant of FC Knights. Yeah, Viper just made a few chompies here. Not sure what that Spearman's doing. It's going on an adventure. Yeah, this feels like Viper pretty comfortably should switch into the Bolas Riders. He's not using his settlements, though, to train Spearmen, which I feel like is kind of a no-brainer here, right? Mari, and indeed, like, I want to be friends with a Mapuche villager when they're all like Mari. It's just so friendly. It's up there with the Burgundian villager saying, bonjour. So Mary, it's a Mary. Now, English isn't a language like this, but apparently there's like a word for a language that changes the meaning of words when repeated twice. Like Mari. Like, English doesn't do that. If we say scout or hi, it doesn't actually change the meaning whatsoever. But some languages do that. Chinese does. Korean does. All of the Polynesian languages do. It's just a matter of how the languages are constructed. Mother. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know for sure, but if Chinese and Korean both do it, I feel like Japanese probably does as well. Looks like Viper's been using those settlements there. Jumpy Warrior is in. You probably want to pick up Pikemen, though. Viper is slightly ahead in resources. Remember, Mapuche, in theory, are insane on this map because their foragers are literally better than Franks. Remember, foragers drop off plus 20% food versus foragers work 15% faster. So it's literally a better version of the Frank bonus. Hera just now grabbing DBA. So I guess the thought process could be... The reason he's not going Bolas Riders is because they obviously don't cost food, so go for the units that cost food when your food income is super good. Oh, is it called Reduplication? Another Monastery coming in, a little surprising-ish there. Army values are similar. Of course, the Knight's basically twice as expensive as these units. Started 2 hours late, yeah. Anyway, I feel like Viper's... This is the worst thing Viper could do, is being all playing footsie with his opponent. You don't want to play footsie in AoE 2. Not when you're the Civ that doesn't have the range advantage. So Hera just gets these 2 units. He continues to heal all of these Knights. I feel like Viper is being somewhat indecisive right now. Oh, looks like some random unit came in the back. Viper has sniped a couple of villagers. Viper is making monks. Double delete right there. Not too sure why. Hera should have just let Viper get the conversion on the, you know, the cheap, weak unit. And Viper will get a conversion there. Okay, Hera converts back, but he had to use some conversion charges. All right. That should be another conversion for Viper, unless Hera... What is that luck, Hera? Oh my goodness. That's nonsense. Anyway, Viper should win this. I mean, the Mapuche bonus is really good. Like, I'm not even kidding. I mean, it makes sense, right? You have your food bonus that's really good with the Mapuche on a map like this, and you're using it to churn out all of these cheap food units. Yeah, 65 HP pikes, literally 1 less HP than a Viking pikeman. Pretty bad. I think Hera didn't... I really honestly think Hera doesn't have a lot of experience dealing with the Mapuche in a non-chompy rush scenario. Like, Hera probably knows that the Mapuche counter units have more HP, but he doesn't have a feel for it. Which is something that only comes with lots of experience. Did Viper grab Arson? Yes, he did. Yeah, Viper only double bit axe. Hera, of course, gets the farm upgrades for free. He also has Bowsaw. Hera is on a second TC, and unless Viper adds in some siege, Hera will just out-boom him, and of course I itched my arm at the wrong time. No squires for the Mapuche, because they actually have a trade-off. Like, their units are extra tanky, but they aren't moving as fast. Guys, see how there's, like, actual strengths and weaknesses to the Civ, and it's not just only strengths? Anyway, Hera's gonna get on wrecked over here. And again, the res collected are still very close, thanks to the Mapuche foragers. I was pretty surprised we haven't seen Mapuche yet on this map, but I think that just people don't like them. Viper does need to keep adding in some pikemen, though. As Knights are still going to be very good against Chompies. The Tiger Cab? Exactly! All right. over Ketons. I think that Ketons very much have weaknesses now that they've been nerfed. They're actually no longer the fastest civ in like dark to early feudal age, which does put them slower. Like they're actually now slower than a civ like Mongols or even Magyars. Yeah, slingers are good against throwing axemen. Bolus riders probably not so much. Yeah, like Ketons, their issues weren't really designed as much as they were balance. But also, Wei are a civ that have like no weaknesses. Shu and Wu both have weaknesses, but they're still kind of annoying. Shu are actually probably the least annoying of the 3K civs right now. Yeah, it is their team bonus, yes. No, like, I've been seeing a fair amount of Ketons, and they haven't looked broken. Like, they've looked good, you know, but no bloodlines really does hurt, and no gunpowder. Yeah, Hera has 5 monks. Too much? Well, he is adding in the second TC. I like that Hera's running by with the converted chompies. He's going to see what's coming up. Have any weaknesses? I mean, their late game is still very bad, but the issue is that they're so good at getting ahead. That it doesn't matter. You don't think the priestesses are very distinct? I guess they both have the white caps, right? Have you noticed that their conversion sounds are a higher pitch than the male ones? An interesting little touch right there. Anyway, Devotion's in for Hera. Build counts are very similar. Big Knight counterattack coming in. Viper is using those settlements to train the pikemen. Well, Wei actually weren't all that great at launch, but then they got a bunch of buffs. I mean, conversions are very, very good from Hera. His control is excellent. And Viper's lost all of his monks, despite him investing into Atonement. And that's definitely a big issue for him. And Hera's now really pulling ahead in terms of resources. Viper's lack of eco upgrades is a big issue. Hera's going to be on 4 TCs, Viper's only on 2. And I'm really surprised he doesn't have any siege component to this. It really feels like a big weakness. Like, Viper took some good fights early on, but it feels like this has a big old timer that's about to expire, and you just have no way of getting through houses. All of Hera's units are getting healed up. I mean, we still have more knights than pikemen. Garrison? I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not invited to either, so I don't even know about those 2 tournaments. Anyway, this game is feeling pretty over now. Well, I mean, yeah, there's always going to be tournaments, but it's a matter of, are there any other lands? No, there is a team game tournament for the Garrison. There's a 3v3 tournament. Anyway, Hera can get ready to drop a castle here very soon. It's Viper probably... Do you know about those? Well, I mean, that's the one thing I know. Elite level of casting I bring to the table? Oh, yeah. Well, it was kind of interesting for a little bit, but then Viper just didn't apply enough pressure relative to how much he needed to. Also, Hera's monk control is basically... 25 conversions from Hera? Oh my god. Taxman actually would be very good here. That is insane from Hera. Well, Viper's going to try and drop a forward castle. Outshine all the others? Oh, yeah, that's me. Hera gets another win. Yeah, Viper, if he was going all in, which he was, he needed to be way more decisive in doing so. I mean, Hera played very well there, and the monk control especially was really perfect, but it's not like that game was unwinnable for Viper if he had done some things differently. But I understand why Viper went for the infantry heavy play, because it's a map where you have a ton of extra food as the Mapuche. And the Bolas Riders don't cost food, so you don't really have the best way of utilizing that. So I get it. Anyway, I'll be right back. All right. Looks like Loch Ness will be the next map. Is the best strat? I don't know. Any team game arena tournament, it's insane. Yeah, sad Mari Mari noises.
Sad Mari Mari noises frown.
Thanks, Earth Shaker, for the 8 months. Alrighty. I hear a lovely flute sound, which means we are with the Bengalis here. Viper going to be the yellow Wu to the north of Loch Ness, and to the south in the blue as the Bengalis, it will be Hera. Little bit of a dance-areno. It is the Uwu. Oh my goodness, that's why Viper's the GOAT, guys. If Hera was the GOAT, he would have won that fight. Just saying. Anyway, Hera's got a defensive archer coming in, so he should be fine. Toma Shibai. Fortune's Chaos, thanks for the raid. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, that's not cheap for Hera to do. And now he can't sell stone to get to Castle Age, but obviously that's worth it. Second dock here for Viper. Hera with no dock whatsoever. This is honestly pretty surprising. Viper's grabbing a market. Again, Viper doesn't have an archery range at all. So if these fletching archers get across the map, it's going to be terrible for him. But they can't go across the middle because of the fire ship. And the Viper's selling stone, so he's going to look to go for a fast castle. Mental damage? Viper shouldn't be taking mental damage like that. Will be meta, I wish. It's a pretty darn fun tech. Anyway, Viper's on his way up. Hera will need some more food. Anyway, I imagine Viper is going to go for our good friend John Swordsman. And to be fair, against Bengalis, they are going to be pretty good because you don't want to go Swordsman as Bengalis and you don't have the Knights, so you could certainly do far worse than the Bengalis as an opponent for your John Swordsman. That said, Viper is not walled. He's starting to wall right now, but you would kind of think that he would want to have been walled before. Forging and even arson coming in. The need. Does it mean... Is there like some meaning I'm missing? Because Jian is Chinese for sword. So it is literally swordsman. Which feels kind of weird. Anyway, Hera is on his way up as well. Remember, you do start with 2 extra builds as the Bengalis, and Hera is a little ahead in resources in part because of it. Also, Hera's not bothered to wall himself, as Viper was going much less heavy on the army. Is it a special kind of sword with Sean Connery? I don't know. I do not know medieval Chinese military history. Urumi swordsman? But the Urumi is a special type of sword, so if the Jian is a special type of sword, then that does make sense. Unless Urumi is like the Tamil word for sword in general, in which case it would be kind of weird. Oh boy, good old John Swordsman is on the way. Indeed, your local plumbers union rep. Is Val. Ah, okay. Upgrade. Ah! I did not know that. Well, I would prefer them as their own unique unit because their role is completely different than the regular swordsman. Not that I like this unit in general, but Wu need the regular swordsman line to be semi-effective. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Bengalis aren't the civ that love dealing with this. It was used to stab people? Yes, as opposed to swords that are not used to stab people. Oh, nice run around here from Hera, gets the kill. But yeah, not even able to finish that second monastery yet. And of course, the Qian swordsmen don't care that much about TC fire. There is one monk that is going to drive away the units for now. But keep in mind that Viper is far from all in here. He's not even on triple barracks, so he's going to add in the third TC. So this, I mean, it feels like an actual AoE game. Oh, it's Nessie. Wu. If Wu didn't have the regular swordsman line, then they would end up getting pulverized in late game because they have no unit to go for. Like, good, strong, efficient unit. Anyway, Zavoshan on the way. Hera still has his scouts hanging around. That dock has been denied. I really don't know. I mean, it's clearly Hera's plan in general to just not bother with fighting for water early on. But yeah, Viper has the advantage at the moment. Hera's adding in his third TC later than his counterpart. Eco upgrades are a bit better for Hera in that he has Bowsaw. Yeah, of course I like Hera patrolling his scouts. I like Viper's galleys here to deny the dock. And Viper's going to add another one. But like I said, Viper is very far from all in here. He's just getting his own eco running behind this. Of course, I would like to see more eco upgrades. But yeah, Hera isn't the type of person to not contest water whatsoever normally, so it's a little odd from him. I'd be curious to know his decision behind it. No way. An actual game of Age of Empires? Where players have asymmetrical advantages, given the map, the game state, and their civilizations? Oh, Hera's gonna have that fourth TC in. Viper has more bills on food, though. Long anyway, I can. Not necessarily, but oftentimes it does. Yeah, Viper needs to be paying attention. You don't want to let Hera... Okay, Hera's going to finish the dock. Okay, well, that's not something Viper wants to do, and Hera will immediately queue up a Hulk. Anyway, our good friend John Swordsman's incoming, and Hera doesn't have the monk on hand. That said, he has enough units here that it's probably fine. Did Hera lose a... No, he lost one archer there. There's a lot of, like, 1 HP archers. Anyway, Hera's doing a much better job minimizing his idle time, though. All animals? It's more the fact that animals take all bonus damage. Oh, you mean the actual, like, attack mode against animals? Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, University coming in here for Viper. He's got more Qian swordsmen. More Vills? Yes, but with even macro between both players, Viper would be way ahead in economy at the moment, instead of slightly behind. Opposing forces, that is indeed how Age of Empires works. First villager kill from Hera this game, though, happening only at the 17-minute mark. Medium warship's going to be in here for Viper, and... yeah, okay, that's what I thought. They deal more damage against buildings. With the fire ship upgrade, rather. Anyway, Hera's eco balance is honestly quite a bit better than Viper's. Keeping it real with you, chat. Stayed in the game, yeah. AoE 2 as the Lord Doubt intended. Of course, great unit control here from Hera. And he's going to click up to... that is a castle coming in, though, from Viper. I actually really love that. That castle you can in the first Tamar scenario. I mean, yeah, that's a great castle from Viper. He knows Hera's army has been depleted, by and large. And yeah, he's going to go for some fire archers. Well, the castle already just sieges down the TC. You don't need the fire archers for that, but the fire archers will expedite that process. And Viper's actually got a second castle he can go for. Whoa, heavy pressure here from Viper. Nessie, no! Viper going to be scooping up some more relics, and this is interesting, guys. I mean, Hera is on his way up. And he's going to want to get skirmishers. DPS work. Their default attack, I'm pretty sure, is their anti-unit attack, right? So wouldn't that be the one? Resource collect when Viper 1 watered because Hera macro is very, very good.
Wait.
Yeah, Hera wants skirms, monks, and trebs. I don't know what the issue is here. Oh, Viper says having lag spikes. Remember, guys, this isn't, they're not actually playing on land because AoE 2. Alright. Viper is going to want Red Cliff's tactics, though. It does help your DPS a lot. Is my voice cutting off? Is it? Do I sound normal? Hello? 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 Oh, easy. Are we back to normal now? Okay. Don't know what was going on with that, but so long as we are good now, that's all that matters. And Hera is going to make a switch over into probably light cav. Yeah, he should. Yeah. Land? Oh, yeah, well, there is no actual land in AoE 2. Alright, so light cav could work. I mean, they're very good against fire archers. Well, yes, not in DE. But Hera has no army. Those conversions are going to be very good. Make that 3 extra units there for Hera. Those relics are going to be ejected, though, and Hera's going to really struggle for gold income. He's got a little bit left here. And he's got a trebuchet on the way, but the fire archers can at least apply some pressure to trebs. Oh my god, the converted Qian swordsman killed all the fire archers. Oh my goodness. Hera will get another castle up, but Viper can take one on the high ground. Viper's on his way up, but he literally lost all of his fire archers. That is so bad for Viper. Viper also never picked up Handcart, which is definitely something he wants. And he's actually going to place the castle all the way over here to the east, which means Hera will secure some more gold, and that's probably all he needs as a win condition. But yeah, Hera's conversions have been insane. Again, 12 conversions for Hera this game. And can you even produce enough fire archers right now? They're not really the fastest training unit. Yep, exactly. Hera just has the best eco management. It feels like Hera's gotten more done with Jian Swordsman than Viper has. And Hera can't train the unit. +4 defense coming in obviously is huge. And I just don't see how Viper gets enough army out. Raid's coming in at the back there for Viper. Loses even more units. 50 farmers. Here. Exactly where you would expect them to be. Anyway, that castle's gonna fall. Hera's got another castle. Like I said, he got all the income he needs. That's gonna be a castle as well. And now you get the pleasure of playing the Wu late game against one of the best late game civs out there. Viper trying to grab Conscription, and he's also getting Bracer, so I guess he's going to take that more naval-heavy approach. Hera's going to try and raid him to death with Light Cav. Oh, he doesn't even get Conscription. Jian Swordsmen are really bad, though, in Imperial Age. Handcart just now coming in from Viper. Viper needs to remember to re-get Conscription. Mahayana coming in. I mean, Hera's just gonna raid him to death with Light Cav. He's on 82 farmers. He's got gold control. Again, there is no actual reason for Hera to be this far ahead in resources until, like, it should start to diverge, like, right about now. Hera has 4,000 more food collected and 7,000 more wood. But yeah, with so many more resources, Hera can win the game whatever way he wants. Heavy warships and good old clinker construction coming in, and Viper is super duper dead. He simply can't compete with Hera's macro and his micro. Guys, Jian Swordsmen are so freaking bad. They're barely winning here with the help of the Galleons. How many conversions? 17. Oh, it's Nessie. Hi, Nessie. Bye, Nessie. Shipwright coming in for Hera. Nessie saw enough. I don't blame Nessie, man. Where's Hera's army? This feels kind of S-word. Guys, Qian swordsmen were a lot better here when their, like, armored mode had 3 melee armor. Oh, it's careening. Heated shot for Viper, I guess. Sure. Hera still has 15,000 more resources. Hera really only has fire ships at the moment. Besides, yeah. The thing is, Hera is barely spending any resources, any gold on land military, whereas Viper is spending a ton. Reverse sweep, less than 1%. Well, Viper doesn't have water control anymore, at least not decisively, so he can't use the siege ships right now. Or light cav rating. Hera's on 160 villagers, guys, and he's keeping his resource bank relatively low. Ships? Yes, they do. Versus from Hera, guys. And he's way ahead in res destroyed. Three-0. Hera got 1 conversion for every monk he made. That's wild. Thanks in spite of it? I feel like it was more in spite of it. But we never know because, again, Hera's macro is so much better than everybody else. Even if a play is suboptimal, it doesn't matter as much when you have so much breathing room in terms of resources. And you have Hera's micro, which is also among the very best. Yeah, normally that doesn't work, though. Just took slightly longer. Yeah, I don't know if I'll cast the finals tomorrow if it's Hera Illyria again. Afterward, no. Because absolutely. What on earth is...
Oh, there was no elevator. Okay.
I have no idea what the point of all that is.
Thank you for the description. distraction, Riley. When I think about, yes, round of applause for Riley there. Round of applause, but.
My goodness. Stonefront's next. Viper's #1 home map. They'll probably play the way. The time they booked, yeah. My crash out? I don't know if I'd actually have a crash out. Anyway, Viper's gonna be in the yellow as the way to the waist of the map. And here, one game away from another finals, it will be Hera in the blue as the Ethiopians. If you thought this would be anything else, you weren't paying attention. Right now, it just feels like mechanically, Hera and Leary are too far ahead of everybody else. All right, Viper in here with his own scout. Hera going to add in an archery range. Hera's going to want to keep this as archers plus scouts as much as possible. But any time that the Ethiopians players having to invest into skirmishers without an eco bonus or a skirmisher bonus, they are going to be quite happy. Or unhappy. The other one. And so, archers are on the way. Fletching is in for both players. Viper has his own range out. And he does have double bit axe, but that's only going to be one villager right now. He was not able to grab both upgrades. The other one, of course, being horse collar. Going to be... Yeah, we saw Mapuche, right? Right. All right, padded archer armor coming in here for Hera. And so far, things are fairly even. Scouts and archers coming in. Up. First kill. The spearman does get one poke, but Hera's going to clean everything else up. Of course, perfect micro there. Viper's attempting to build a watchtower. He is also attempting to build a second archery range, whereas Hera will be content with the one for now. A little bit of cannibalism. No cannibalism in AoE 2. Need to keep the T rating. Mm-hmm. Like, is there anything for me to say here? It really does not feel like it. Hera needs to come in with his reinforcements, for sure. Perfect macro behind this. The birds and the hares, yeah. Viper is still, like, a villager ahead. Hera is actually accruing idle time behind all this. Viper doesn't actually have any spearmen right now. Surprised Hera isn't just killing the archers, but I guess waiting for his other units to show up. Viper loses another villager. Hera's going to click up to Castle Age in a second. He has stopped his scout production. He's on his 2 ranges. Again, Hera hasn't had to make a single skirmisher all game long. Anyway, clicks on up. Best host? I don't know about that. I knew what you meant. Gold mining upgrade. Again, it's not like Hera's macro has been, like, perfect when it comes to making villagers, but he's been making army, and he's been out microing Viper. Getting other sorts of relevant eco upgrades. Just keep up that archer pressure. Now, if this were Leary, there'd be a forward siege workshop as soon as Castle Age came in. It's Hera, so maybe not. Maybe it'd be like a university commentary panel, because they don't ask me. I would absolutely love to do it, but they've never asked me. Katsuni, yeah. Not sure if Katsuni could cast without being cancelled these days. Anyway, Viper does have the larger army at the moment. He does have plenty of skirmishers. Hera did stop his scout production in order to get to Castle Age faster. Still, this isn't super clean for Hera. Has he gone too greedy, guys? Viper needs to force a fight, but Hera isn't letting him. I mean, he's taking some losses here, but Hera's still buying a little bit more time. AoE4? Yeah, but I'd be getting paid and also be getting more exposure, so, you know. Anyway, Bot Crosaw coming in here from Hera. He still hasn't actually lost any villagers, so maybe he's bought just enough time. Something nice about AoE4? Makes AoE2 look really good. The III, yeah. Yep, just build the Siege Workshop even more forward. Viper's on his way up. Still around? I don't think so. No idea what he's up to now. Into death? Sure. Well, it's mining a ton of stone, so he probably wants Tiger Cav, but it really, truly, honestly matters not at all. Viper going to try and sneak around here with some archers. He might get some damage done, but he's simply never going to be able to deal with Hera's army at the moment. Not sure why Hera stopped making army. Oh, he's even going for a ram. That's honestly a little surprising. I thought it would be a mangonel. Anyway, Viper's going to come in here with these archers. Not a good enough reaction from Hera. Stop using AI. I commented on a post about it, but then the mod team on Reddit removed it for it being a baseless accusation. And RedBull said that they're not using AI, so we have to believe them. Even though there is no way to have anything other than circumstantial evidence about AI usage unless they are honest about it. And again, the AI annoys me. It does. The fact that they're almost certainly lying about it annoys me even more. Like, if you're going to use generative AI and you think, like, okay, generative AI is the way of the future, then you need to be honest about it. Have some conviction. Well, that almost has to be human error. I don't know. If it was one thing, then I think it could be okay, that's just an error, but there's like a bunch of issues. I think, didn't know the contractor used it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have an artist hired, but the, yeah. That big doesn't know how to check for AI use? Yeah, like, again, I'm sure they have an artist hired, but I don't know how you can claim that their artist doesn't have any AI usage. Accuse giant companies? Yep. Well, the game is continuing onward, but Viper's only on 1 TC. He has 1 eco upgrade as the way. I mean, good conversion there. Hera's already 1,500 resources ahead. The artist used AI. I mean, that's the issue, right? Is that unless you're honest about it, there is no way you can prove it. Like, we can see that there are errors, and those errors are consistent with the errors that have been shown in AI-generated images. But I also think that you add in the more circumstantial evidence of the text, the Civ blurbs, that are very obviously also AI done. Just take the stuff and send the money, yeah. That's likely, yeah. Yeah, though, again, and like I said on Reddit, I literally would have done that for free. If they asked me, like, hey, we're gonna have these Civ blurbs, can you write, you know, a Civ blurb for every Civ with under X characters? And we'll have it on screen and it just says, Ornlu Civ blurb or something like that. I would absolutely do it. But no. That'd be like an hour or 2 of work, and it would make the event a little bit better. Like, I would be happy doing to that. Out to nil. It's not on me, right? I'm not involved in the event at all. It's not like my job to go to this event organizer and say, hey, I will make this event better by doing stuff for you for free. Like, about the community? Yeah, I mean, sure. Hera's so much better. At the very least, his macro and micro are significantly better. More upgrades? The Tiger Cav have +1 defense and bloodlines, and the Camels have +1/+1 in husbandry. I mean, it's not that much of a difference. But I would absolutely write that and do fun facts or like jokes or stuff like that. I would be more than happy to do that. Cool. No, Tiger Cav are way too good. Better? No, Hera is better with his micro and macro so significantly that any other advantage Viper might have over Hera as a player is nullified because that difference, that chasm, is simply too vast. There, is that better? Alright, husbandry's in. +2 defense is on the way. But would be the more the Let's Explain Civilizations guy. What? US doesn't know all the ins and outs of all the civilizations. He doesn't even own all the civilizations. I mean, TOS knows a lot of the technical stuff of AoE too, but that's most especially in the map-making aspect of thing. And much more the ins and outs of all the civilizations and their mechanics and units and stuff. Hera is very good with strategies. I don't think Hera is so significantly better that if the macro and micro were equal for Viper, I don't think Hera is, like, easily winning this series. I mean, he might, but it would certainly be very, very competitive. Why is this even a thing? Why is Hera over here on the other side of the map with outposts and stuff? Spirit of the Law? Oh. Yeah, Spirit does a lot of those sorts of explanation videos, but Spirit doesn't have the understanding of how stuff works in high-level AoE too. Anyway, Imp is going to be on the way. Hera just needs to not die until then. Even this, yes. Anyway, Hera's got all the upgrades available to his Civ for his camels. Now, he doesn't have a castle. Royal Heirs is actually a really sick upgrade. The comment? Absolutely. I'm not saying he doesn't have a role in the community or that his videos are not useful for people. I'm just saying that, you know, I feel like the advantage there would be trying to explain how stuff works at a high level. I mean, Hera does need to be careful here, guys. His army isn't together. And he's actually going pure camel right now, and he doesn't have a castle. Also be in now. Part of the thing with AoE 2 is they want to have as many events back to back to back as possible. Which is why Hera's dominance feels like it's been so much longer than it actually has. It's because it's been like, what, 3 years? But there have been so many tournaments in that time frame that it makes it look very one-sided. Well, I mean, it has been relatively one-sided in favor of Hera in that he has won everything. Not that he's, like, you know, cruised his way to victory in every tournament. Anyway, patrol stacking is as fun as ever. Love it, love it, love it. It's the best thing in AoE 2. More viewers to different content creators? Yeah, but there is very little interest by anybody higher up to try and include as many content creators as possible. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he needs to get Heavy Camel, and he's also grabbing Royal Heirs, so Hera knows exactly what he's doing here. Again, this game was basically over in Feudal Age. Viper's 10,000 resources behind at the moment. Trebuchet is on the Trebu Way. Siege Workshop. What even is this, man? Long as Hera's? Viper's was around 10 years, I think. But again, it's just different eras. AoE 2 is generally more competitive with Hera's, like during Hera's dominance, but it's also lasted a much shorter time period, so you could say that, well, there just happens to be a lot of stuff going on when Hera is the best player. So, yeah. Also, Viper won in an era where, like, all the tournaments were oftentimes very different from one another in terms of the maps and settings and whatnot. Whereas during the Hera era, most tournaments have very similar settings. And yes, and it's true that Hera, like, Viper won literally everything he participated in, and Hera is winning all of the big money, big prestige events. So again, like it feels like comparing apples to oranges. And if you want to go back even further, then you have to, you know, look at Chris and all those guys. Well, that was the better series today, to be fair. Frost 9 would win so easily, oh my goodness. Now, give Hera a couple weeks to train even, then Hera's probably going to win pretty comfortably, but, I mean, going in cold turkey like that, yeah, Frost 9 would win super easily. Forever Feudal Vikings. Honestly, it was pretty fun to see like everybody in Imp and then a Viking player with trade carts going back and forth in Feudal Age. Anyway, guys, that was literally a 3-hour day. We got through 4 best of 7, or 4 best, that would be crazy. 2 best of 7s in 3 hours. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream the finals. Maybe. We will see. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone who's watching. Really, really do appreciate it. Bye-bye.